What's up, everybody? I am Nisha LaShawn.
And I'm T. Renee.
And this is the Sean and Renee Show. Today, this is a heavy topic. It's heavy because as a Black woman, it's a constant conversation within our community. And it's a constant conversation at large. And right now, there is a whole bunch of people in mass media on the biggest platforms right now that are having, what we want to call it, they crash out era.
I wouldn't call it crash out. I would say the great reveal.
The great reckoning.
Reckoning and reveal, yes.
Yeah. Cat Williams said, woo.
He said all things will be revealed. That's why I called it the great reveal.
Are we gonna have to start calling him Prophet Cat?
I mean, we can, because he said last year all things will be revealed.
Man, and it has not stopped since. And we know the things that he were talking about weren't outlandish and far-fetched, right?
No.
The things that he was saying and pointing out in that interview is things that we know that's been happening decade after decade after decade.
He called it.
He called it out. And it wasn't a shock or surprise. But what is shocking and surprising in those situations when it's finally put on Front Street, like it's finally revealed. People are finally being called out, finally being held accountable, finally going on trial, finally getting arrested. Victims are finally speaking out. When that finally moment happens and the covering is no longer there, that right there, that's the part that is shocking to people.
So for me, growing up, we weren't as privy to celebrities' lives as we are now.
No.
We had to wonder and guess.
We get so much info now. It's an overload.
Because now it's all on Front Street. Either you got these paid relationships where y'all in a contractual relationship and y'all appear in public, or you live your relationship on social media and everybody is in your business. So when I was growing up, we didn't know all this stuff about Gladys Knight and them and all the Mary. Well, we knew a little bit about Mary. I think around the 90s, that's where that shift came in.
Mary was always vocal about her struggles, though, so I don't want to count her because she never tried to hide behind her issues.
Didn't.
She was saying about it quick. But I think now versus then, we could do a quick Google search and find somebody DUI.
True.
We couldn't find out all of the stuff James Brown was doing until he was on TV in The Chase.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he had a long track record of abuse and all these. So, like, there is a history of celebrities having these very, very dark records of behaviors. The public not know about it. We only know them for their talents and we love them for their talent.
Right.
And that was the end of it.
Because a lot of people didn't know James Brown slapped Tammy Terrell. That's why she lost the hearing in one of her ear. Like, we didn't know all this abuse was going on until recently.
Right. Until people started speaking out about it.
Right.
And they chose to vocalize it.
Right.
Smokey Robinson, we didn't know that he was trying drugs back then until he got on Vlad TV and said, yeah, I did it. He would have went to his grave. We wouldn't have
never knew it. We never knew it. We would have never knew it.
They had the choice to tell us or not. Now, in this present time, the things you do behind closed door, don't consider it a closed door anymore. Consider it a cloth over the entry.
I wouldn't even call it a cloth. I would say,
what about them things from back in the day, though? What did they call them? It was like the beads over the doorways from like the 70s.
I say it's the beads over the door because really people is peeping through. But like Kat said, them Hollywood parties and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, he called it to a T. Now, I think people didn't like The Messenger. But
I love The Messenger.
I am in love with The Messenger because
the people that was doing wrong didn't like The Messenger. We love The Messenger.
Right. But nothing he said was incorrect.
Yeah.
Yet. Now, he might tell a joke, but he ain't told a lie yet.
What these people don't understand is folks is coming into these parties with cell phones.
Yep.
They coming into these parties with some AI on them. They got the glasses that can talk. They got the watches that can talk. They got the recorders. You can listen. If I wanted to be wired up, I can buy the gear off of Amazon
for under $50.
Okay, if I want to walk into the room and record everybody, I can put a wire on right now. Amazon have it here in 2 days, and I know everybody tea. It's just that easy. Now, unfortunately, we have people that still behave as if they are not aware it's that easy for information to get out.
I think what it is, it's not even they not aware. They think that they're so powerful that how dare you say anything.
And won't nobody try me.
Ooh,
that's the ego. That's the devil.
That is the ego.
Ooh, that's the ego.
That's the ego.
Okay. I mean, we got quite a few examples.
Mm-hmm.
And what's been ringing in my mind, because again, I started off with leading. This is important to me because I'm a Black woman. So this is what I find valuable to me as an individual, Black men. Just like I'm their sister, they're my brother.
Correct.
If I see y'all down, y'all got to be pulled up.
Immediately.
We got to stop this.
Yep.
We have to stop it. There is a trend of self-sabotage. And what's even more concerning, that so many of them don't even seem to be aware that it's self-sabotage. Coming against us is self-sabotage, just like Black women coming against Black men is self-sabotage.
Absolutely.
Because there's a greater risk outside of our community that we got to be tight on the inside to go against.
Correct.
We don't have time for the behaviors of a Sean Diddy Combs. We don't have time for that. For that amount of resources, right? So we have that 1 out of how many million reach that level of success. Mm-hmm. Imagine how many resources that's within the community off of that one person, and you get to that point of status and you play them type of games once you get up there. We don't have time for that.
We don't have time for the ego that drives that either.
No.
And the power dynamic that involves that ego, because even with Diddy, you have achieved that level of success. The way you wield your power shows what kind of human you are. And that's the problem that concerns me. Mm-hmm. When you get to a level and you have that amount of power, how you wield it and how you deal with people, make people feel beneath you, do harm in any form or fashion, that's the problem I have. Because for me, when you have that power, how you wield it and how you demonize it in a certain manner where it becomes detrimental to you yourself and anybody around you, that is concerning, because I'm concerned about your humanity at that point.
Your humanity, your soul. I'm questioning, is there a possibility of redemption? I'm questioning whether or not, like just all of it, you as a total being. I'm beyond a celebrity at this point.
Oh no, I'm past
some of that
celebrity.
Stuff that's been coming out in that case, it sounds evil.
Oh, absolutely.
It sounds dark. It sounds like the worst of humanity. And I'm just concerned. I'm concerned about men like Shannon Sharp, who reached that level of success. The community rally behind you, support you.
Yep. When you left ESPN, We was there for Club Shay Shay.
Oh, we was there. To the point to where I didn't even want to hear what y'all had to say on the platform. I would just play it to give the views. I'm not even listening to it, but I'm supporting as a person, part of the community. Mm-hmm. And you out here paying $25K per cheek? What?
And Monique sat there and told you.
Can we go back to several episodes where it was several guests that sat there and warned him?
Monique told him. Cheryl Underwood told him. Kat told him. Them just the comedians.
Lil Yachty.
Yachty did tell him.
Now you got Yachty up here counseling your big old boy.
Yeah.
And it flew right over his head.
But again, we back to ego.
We got Chris Brown.
You know, that young man, here's the thing with Christopher.
I got a soft spot in my heart for him.
Here's the thing with Christopher Maurice Brown. When the whole situation happened with Rihanna, I was upset with him. But then when she forgave him, actually took him back, and they was cool, I was like, okay, let's see how this plays out. Then they eventually separated, went on to live their own lives, different directions. She went on to become who she is, a billionaire. She's a mother, all that. Got multiple business. He went on, great music, awesome tours and everything. So I kind of got into the realm. I didn't forget what he did, but it was like, it wasn't for me to forgive him.
Right.
She forgave him. So
I didn't forget you did it, but I wasn't holding it against you because she was in a place to where. And then when you put the whole story together, they were very young.
Very young.
She admitted to antagonizing him.
Absolutely, she did.
He admitted to going overboard, and they both seemed very remorseful for the part they played into it. And when you're young, you make mistakes. That's just a part of growing up. So I could see how it was easy to be like, you know what? Let's let him grow.
Right. Let him grow up.
Let him grow up.
Right.
But baby,
as he's gotten older, I just see that Chris is another one, because everybody that has come in contact with him, they always say he's a nice guy. He's always helpful. He just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he don't do a lot of drama. Even if it's drama around him, like happening in the club, he like, I'm about to go because I ain't about to deal with this. And to see him in the headlines again, I don't even know if it's true if he hit the man over the head with a Don Julio bottle. But this is the thing. In the media, they're going to be like, it's on brand for him. That's on brand for who he is, which I hate that for him. But if he indeed did it, it's like, you have overcome so much. Why?
It's always been stories, because even Karrueche, she spoke out about her experience in relationship with him. And there's been like stories after stories after stories of people saying he's offended me in some way, or even physically assaulted me, or was aggressive towards me, right? And it's also been stories about how great he is, how awesome he is, how sweet of a person he is. He gives me that extremely nice or extremely evil. Extremely nice or extremely unpleasant. And he gives me like somebody who don't have a middle ground.
And a lot of people are like that. So I can't judge him on that.
I don't want to judge him on that.
But because I know people like that. Like, they don't have no in between. Either I kick it with you, or it's F you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no middle, and they ain't budging on it, and I get it. But I think with him, it's just like, you got over the hump. That for me with him is like, you got over the hump.
Grace has been given.
Yes. And then you get in trouble in another country where we got a president who's not coming to get you.
We ain't got that type of presidency. This is the wrong time to get into international trouble. When I tell you this is the worst possible time you could have picked to get into international trouble, oh, baby,
he's not coming.
Y'all better not have illegal gummy bears, and I'm talking about some of them countries don't even like our processed food. I ain't even talking about the weed. I'm talking about
a potato chip. Nowhere.
Nothing. Okay, nothing. go over there clean as you can be.
Yes.
Don't try it. It's just not going to end well.
That's my only thing with Chris. It's like, you have overcame so much. And here we are in 2025.
And I want to like him so bad. But
I like him, but it's just like these choices.
The choices.
And decisions. I get disrespect is met with more disrespect sometimes. And I don't know what this record producer said to him to even trigger him to get there. But what I'm saying is, you've overcame so much. Why? Why wasn't it somebody there to say, hey, Breezy, chill out?
So do we think that's what it is? Like, once they get to a certain level, they have so many yes men around them.
Absolutely.
That there's nobody to
check them
or be a moral compass and say, hey, your mama didn't raise you like that. Or, what would your grandmama think?
And even if that is said, is that going to move them? Look at Kanye. Exactly. The silence. Like I said, look at Kanye. This man has been on Twitter talking about people cheering. Talking about he's a black Nazi.
I'm open to conversation.
He didn't have fellatio with his cousin.
I'm open to conversation. See, I try to be the one that's open to any conversation. Mm-hmm. And I be pushing you like, come on, let's talk about it. When it come to that man right there, if you search lost cause in a dictionary,
he's standing there with a smile, like
in his Klan outfit. He's gonna be there as a lost cause. Mm-hmm. I do know he shows signs of a mental disorder. Mm-hmm. It's very obvious. Very obvious. What I find so concerning, all of the stuff he said and done up until now, it wasn't until he spoke about the assault between him and his relative that I did not see black men as a collective speaking on his outrageous behavior. It took him to say the fellatio thing for you to be like, oh yeah, he got mental issues. Wait a minute. When he was running for president, y'all didn't think that was a sign of mental issues? This is what I'm saying. Black men, why does it take these extremes for y'all as a collective to reel it in? I'm begging and pleading. When are we going to look at the red flags and be okay with acknowledging the red flag for what it is? When I saw that video of DDG, and he was streaming with his homeboy, Aiden. Mm-hmm. That man didn't even open up the article. He saw the headline and patted him on the shoulder like, this a good man right here. Sir, did you click on the article? There's proof.
Right.
Did you click on the article? Who did her arm like that? It showed on the fan.
Right.
But before you saw the headline and immediately jumped to patting that man on the shoulder and say, this a good man right here, Savannah.
But I don't accept Aiden in the community, no way, because he just said some outlandish things about Doshi. And I was so happy that DJ Head broke it down like, you a visitor.
He's a total visitor. But I want to point out the behavior is very typical.
It is.
For men.
It is.
I have a question to men, and I can't wait till we get a man on the show to really have that back and forth dialogue because right now we've got a bunch of questions and no answers. Mm-hmm. But I want to present the question, what is that thought process with men to where you struggle to just speak the truth or just speak the facts at hand? 1 + 1 = 2. I love you as a friend, but you grabbed that lady's arm.
And you harmed her.
And you grabbed her to the point to where now she's bruised.
You threw a phone at her and chipped her tooth.
What's wrong with just saying it plain?
Just accountability.
Just having that plain conversation at the barbershop and saying, hey, you know what, last night when you slapped that girl in the club, you were doing too much. I ain't tell you when you was drunk because you wouldn't have received it. But now we here. I need to tell you to your face.
But see, with that in the club stuff, I've seen homeboys beat their own homeboys up for being out of pocket with a woman. So I mean,
I've seen it both sides.
It's a generational thing with that too, because that's a generational thing where they check you where you mess up. But in this, what we're talking about now is like it's no accountability. Just like R. Kelly. Look at Robert Kelly, one of the best.
When a woman's fed up
with music, you can say, even though he said he
super
can't
talented
read and all this stuff, but super talented, has decades of music that people still listen to regardless of what they say. But he was molested by his sister and a babysitter, him and his brother. Then that behavior wasn't addressed. It was swept under the rug. So now we have a predator loose.
Because it's the manifestation of evil. When it happens and take root, it snowballs.
Absolutely.
It escalates over time. That demon's going to keep trying to push. What can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? And
by the time he got to Aaliyah,
it was on and popping.
He was
full throttle.
He was too far gone. And then you add in Sparkle's niece, and then you add into all the parents that dropped their kids off to him.
And I got something to say to them, but we ain't got time for that right now. But we're gonna circle back on that.
But what I'm saying is, everybody that enabled that behavior, knowing that that's the type of time he was on, why didn't y'all stop it? Because what? You was getting cut a check? The money was too good to stop him? Why wasn't he held accountable? Like, Rob, these girls too young.
And I'm going to be for real with y'all men and say, in order for you to be a leader, you got to be able to do this task. You got to be able to call out the behaviors, right? So even outside of the home, let's just say in a professional sense, as a manager, as a supervisor, as a leader in whatever position, if you can't call out when somebody is doing wrong, you're not qualified for the position.
Right.
So, men, you're always talking about how you want to be leaders, how you want to have us follow y'all, and so on and so forth, which we honestly don't mind. But I can't follow you into disaster, or I can't follow you in places that's unsafe.
Or into despair.
So if I see you hand-holding with your friend that just knocked his girl upside the head, what do you think I'm going to think about you?
Because you ain't stopped him. And if you allow him to slap her in front of you...
I ain't got nothing coming. If I see you in the comment section under Meg Thee Stallion post laughing at whether or not she got shot, not shot, I'm questioning you. Because let's say theoretically, she never did get shot, allegedly. Let's just say she never did get shot. If the conversation is about a bullet to the foot, speak to that.
And how it is not funny.
Hey, let's say if she did get shot, hey, it ain't funny.
It's not. I don't see any comedy.
About it. But it's always skipped over, and the conversation turns into, well, did she really did get shot?
Or did she deserve to get shot? That's the one that be blowing me. Like, how do you deserve to get shot?
When you turn into Detective Stabler and Detective Benson, it ain't for you to figure out whether or not she actually got shot, buddy.
That's the one that blow me. It's like, I can get the questioning of, did she really get shot? But her medical records have proven in a court of law that she was indeed.
And if y'all pay attention, the case wouldn't have been able to be brought on by the feds if it didn't actually happen. How do you think they got gunpowder on them if something didn't release off the clip?
Something happened. Now, everybody talking about, well, Kelsey did it. Well, that phone conversation I heard of Tory talking to Kelsey after, it didn't sound like he was innocent, but I'm going to just let y'all rock. I'm not about to tussle with y'all with this. Her medical record says she got shot. I don't care if it was Kelsey or
what's
Tori.
so special about Kelsey that Tori want to do time for her?
Exactly. That's my whole thing.
Why would he want to do time for her? Her coup de cat that great that he is willing to do time as an immigrant with a felony on his record.
And to that situation as a whole, Meg would not have pushed the button if he wasn't antagonizing that girl all over social media. Tori was antagonizing Meg about that whole situation to the point where she was like, you know what?
I got you.
I was giving you grace, but now I'm the butt of all your jokes. I'm about to show you. Now, if it was vindictive, you can debate that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if she's sparing you, because she said she was trying to protect a black man from getting shot that night by the police in LA, that's not far-fetched.
And there was a lot going on during that time as far as like police and black men. And here we go, putting on our capes.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's not far-fetched. So in that instance, could she have been vindictive and like, you know what? I'm just going to press the button. You can debate that. But at the same time, why his homeboys didn't stop him from antagonizing that girl all over social media, making her the butt of jokes? Because some things you can't decide what your karma gonna be from it.
Oh no, you never get to decide your karma. And if you know anything about vengeance, that belongs to the Lord, it's always worse than what you gave.
Always.
Vengeance always come back way more aggressive than what you can put out. He's very smart on how he can turn it back around on you. You never would have saw it coming.
Never would have saw it.
I just, even in that moment while he was like gun happy, who was the people, the other men there? Because I know they have security.
Right.
They have they come with handlers.
Right.
And those people are men. They don't. I don't understand how it gets to this point.
And why Terry Lane's daddy is like, my son is innocent. But is he?
Somebody step on him.
Is he innocent?
Just
is he?
Shut him up.
Is he innocent? And then it's like, you know, the men, like the baby, he antagonized Meg too. And I'm just like, y'all pick and choose when y'all want to be the antagonist.
And the baby was crazy to me because where you come from, y'all was just working together. You just was working this girl and you
flipped the script.
I mean, he flipped it.
And now you don't like that people ain't dealing with you.
Oh, well, he's been radio silent. Ain't seen him on my timeline in I don't know how long.
But that's the thing. It's like you just said, you can't choose your karma.
I think the algorithm don't even want to deal with him no more because I ain't seen.
He pop up every blue moon for a freestyle or something. But the thing is, you got to understand what you put out, you going to get back. You're going to get it back. Same with all these celebrity men. Y'all make choices. My thing is with all men. I'm just going to take the celebrity out of it. All men. When you get to a certain level in your career and you have a power dynamic, be smart with that power dynamic. Don't let your ego be like, I'm the man and I'm this. Just be smart with it because we got, as a community, we got bigger fish to fry.
Yes.
We know Deacon such and such slap Mother Turner down the street.
Yeah.
We know that's going on.
And the other deacons need to handle that. We know Leroy be beating the mess out of Keisha, but ain't nobody stopped it yet. And his brother Delroy need to handle that.
Yeah. And then we just know that Mike just shot Lisa the other day. Shot her in the thigh. She in the hospital and pregnant. But then nobody stopped it from happening. And then his mama on TV, your son is a monster.
Ooh. Do we want to... We gonna leave the mamas alone. Because I was about to give y'all a piece of my mind. But I'm going to leave y'all alone for now. A lot of this stuff is seen. Because you can't tell me the way... When I look back on those old documentaries and the way Donda was talking to Kanye... Donda knew her baby was missing the screw.
She did.
The way she handled him in conversation... It gave me a woman covering and being a covering to her son. And she was trying to hold him in a place of understanding how to fight against his ego. But sometimes I think consequences should come early.
Agreed.
Consequences should come early. Like, we have this thing of trying to save people from consequences, and there's levels to consequences. It's different to have consequences before the late registration comes out.
Right.
The Kanye before that, consequences would have been consequences, but the impact of it is different, right?
Right.
What life would have been if he would have felt it early on versus now at this point we have this monster in the media.
Jesus.
You know, on live stream acting up
at every chance he gets.
At every chance he get. I always question women who have sons and they fight so hard to avoid consequences for their son. If you know your son blow all his money on weed and he about to get evicted, let him get evicted.
Yep. Don't put your house up for that.
And let him get evicted.
And don't let him move in with you neither.
Hey, you can't die from an eviction.
But you can learn a lesson.
You can learn a lesson. You want to know what it's like to sleep under a bridge? Have at it. Have at it. It's very difficult to watch a loved one suffer, especially when you got the resources to fix it. It's very difficult, but it's so necessary for the growth of a man. He has to go through it.
Does. And this is the thing, I hate that for Black men. I do, because they go through it the hardest and we're like a second at that hardest. Sometimes it could be parallel. We could be on the same street. That's why we
try to coddle them so much, because we know it's hard.
Yep. We sometimes end up on the same street with that hardness. But at the same time, it's just like we have too much going on within our own community. We're fighting too many forces for us to continue to always not hold each other accountable for things. Because I have male friends and they know you can't, it's certain behavior that you cannot do around me. And for that fact, it's a lot of things that even if they were, like, okay, I'll use this as an example. When I was in high school, I had friends who were actively in gangs and doing things that were not what they were supposed to do. They were in gangs, selling drugs, all that. But you know what they never did? They never brought me around it. Because it's just a respect level where they was like, I'm not putting her in harm's way. Nowadays, the whole block can catch anything at any time, and it's no check and balance there. Like, it's the respect level of not letting women and children get harmed in stuff that has nothing to do with them. That is my issue with a lot of stuff that's going on. Because if you look at it, Diddy's daughters walked out of the court this week after hearing some of the stuff that their daddy was doing.
And to be honest, they should have not let them come at all. The family should have been like, no, y'all don't need to hear all of the stuff that's being said about your daddy. They grown, but it's still like, they're very young and impressionable still.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, that's their father. I would never want to hear those kind of details about my daddy.
No. Not at no time. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, we have to bring in, within our community, we have to get back to accountability, holding each other accountable, and the protection level of things. Like, yeah, you don't want everybody to learn the hard way, but if I don't check Mike and tell him, you gonna spend the rest of your life in jail if you keep pulling your pistol on people.
And when it comes to that point in time to where you get arrested for having that gun on you, no, I'm not bailing you out.
No.
Because this is phase one. This is obviously where you want to be. We have access to so much information now. you can't bring the excuse if you didn't know.
No.
You definitely know.
You know.
And I want us to get past and grow beyond the point of not only are you not behaving this way in front of me, you're changing your behavior overall.
Right.
Because what happens is when they do these things behind closed doors or away from the family, as we're seeing here with Didi and his daughters, the family dynamic is still affected. Those girls don't have their mom.
No. Well, Chance does.
Chance does.
But the twins don't. Mm-hmm.
So you were doing it behind closed doors, and we probably didn't see Daddy do any of those things. I only know you as Daddy. But look how they're still affected.
Right.
You basically did it to them.
Right.
You in prison and they don't have their dad here.
Right.
Because of stuff you're doing behind closed doors. I want us to elevate beyond the behaviors and stop it already, because now we've lost a billionaire in the community that could have been using their resources to uplift and to build and to put his foot in political power, to fund campaigns, to, fund nonprofits and get behind all these different type of initiatives. We lost that billionaire in the community, and your money is going to the state for court costs. Federal.
You paying the feds because this is who prosecuting.
Your money is going to the feds back into their communities.
Yep.
You didn't pay some judge whole salary. You paying the people that we're fighting against.
Yep.
Because you want to have a freak nasty birthday party? Are you kidding me?
And it's just like, how is playing out? It's a 50-50 chance he could walk, but it's just that your legacy has been tarnished when it didn't have to.
And for him, I feel like when it comes to legacy and his reputation, that is done. Mm-hmm. There's no coming back from that.
Absolutely.
He's soiled. Do you think there is a possibility that he can be redeemed as a human being? That is redemption a possibility for somebody like him?
I would never say redemption is impossible. Now, will the public accept it is a different thing. You can't always get right with God.
Yeah.
God is not unforgiving, but the public, it all depends on what day it is. Mm-hmm. Whether or not they'll mess with you because they know what you own. Now, if you are truly repenting and be like, you know what, I am. And you show, because Puff offered us a lot we ain't even asked for.
Yeah.
He said that he ain't do nothing to Cassie. And what happened a few days later? You know what I'm saying?
That man propped up his camera, got in position. See, this goes back to not having people around you that can shut it. Because anybody with any sense be like, boy, if you don't put that phone down.
Mm-hmm. A few days later,
it came out like clockwork.
That video dropped.
It wasn't even a full 7 to 10 business days.
Nope.
I got debit cards and they're coming in the mail slower than that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like you offered us a lot we didn't ask for. You could have just said, like you said, you wish her well and left it at that. Don't double down on you're being extorted and I never did none to nobody. And then we got video.
And that's the same thing Tory Lanez did to Meg. Mm-hmm. You put that information out. Why are you on social media taunting this girl? You could have went into obscurity and we wouldn't have thought, the public wouldn't have thought nothing else about it. Okay. We don't know if she actually got shot or she stepped on some glass, drunk at the club. We really don't know. We would have moved on with our lives. You initiated that, did it? You got on the internet and said what you didn't do. And some housekeeper from the hotel said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this video on over since he want to be lying about it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like accountability.
And that ego.
Check your ego.
That ego is crazy.
Check your ego. But that's what I'm saying, that power dynamic. I think when certain men get to a certain amount of power, it's like they feel like nobody can tell them nothing. Look at Tommy Mottola. Look how he did Mariah Carey for so long when she was married to him. She had to dress almost like a nun. When she got that divorce, it was just
like
she
took it all
honey.
off.
she broke out of her shell. So it's just like, I think when men get to that certain level of power, it's just like it has to be a control dynamic, and I don't know what that is. I don't know how to turn that off, and I don't know why they go into that realm of nobody can tell me nothing, nobody can check me, nobody can hold me accountable. And I hate that for them, because it's like, you have to be able to be checked.
It's an unnatural situation for human beings. The society that we have created in a cultural, the culture that we've created is an unnatural environment for who human beings inherently are,
right?
Who God created us to be. And even if we are not somebody that's believing in God, if you want to just go by scientifically, right? We talk about that end too. The way this culture is set up, this society is set up, it is not natural. So when you pluck us out of nature and you put us in these situations, some people have very deviant reactions to it.
True.
That's how deviance is birthed. Being in those unnatural circumstances, for somebody to have all those people around him that can never tell him no. Think about like that toddler who is never told no. That's a bad little baby.
And grow up to be a school shooter.
That baby be out of control. And when you you notice that child that's never been told no.
Mm-hmm. Because they become adults that throw fits and tantrums and do all kind of things. You just like, wait a minute.
So if you can see it on a 3-year-old and you be like, ooh, that's not going to turn out right. Imagine what that child is then like by the time they get to 50 years old. I don't want to see you at nighttime or daytime.
Right.
I don't want to see you in the back alley or front street.
Right.
It's crazy.
But you went back to like with Donda and Kanye. Like I watched the interview. Jay-Z's nephew interviewed his mother. From that interview, I understood Jay better. I did, because his mother straight up working class. She had kids that she relied on to take care of her younger kids. She didn't play that. You had to be in the house.
Are you talking about Jay-Z's mom?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Miss Gloria. She didn't play that. Even when Jay was successful, she was still at her job. He had to tell her, like, Ma,
enough is enough.
You got to retire. And she told him, well, I got to work until, because she wanted her retirement. You know what I'm saying?
She wanted her pension.
She wasn't playing with him.
She said, listen, all that celebrity stuff can come and go. I'm getting this pension.
Right. So eventually when she did retire, it was just one of them things where it was just like, I get it. His mama didn't rely on her son's celebrity. She was just like, I don't care who you are. I'm going to my job.
I see the same dynamic with Miss Tina.
Yeah.
And Beyonce too. Miss Tina, she was like, it's been times I had to get her together.
Yes.
Behind the scenes, like, who you talking to? I'm still your mama. I said, Miss Tina, get her.
And you will be on the floor. You and your sister.
Beyonce was in an interview, it was some years ago, where she talked about her mama slapped her behind the scenes because she said something slick. And her mama got her right in the mouth. And she was like, "Oh, my mama got me so. Oh, she slapped me so hard." And yeah, that's that teacher. That's that old school right there.
And I see in both those dynamics right there, I don't have a problem with, because those children go on to be people who are productive citizens of society.
It's not even just about, the spankings or the whoopings, because people love to just jump to that conclusion. What we're talking about is hard boundaries.
Right.
Okay. Life without boundaries, you get a shine puffy cone.
Right. And just like Miss Gloria told him, I don't care who you are. I don't care that you sold 7 million records. I'm going to my job. And I see you when I get home. It's just like
we don't know Puffy Mama, but she don't give me the vibes. She give me the vibes that I'm going to cover whatever my son need me to cover.
Yeah.
And I hate to be judging on the outside looking in, because this is all alleged. We don't know these people.
No.
I'm just going off of the vibes I'm getting with the blonde wigs and stuff and the fur coats, she definitely gives me whatever my son wants.
She give me old school dope girl vibes. Like she was Nikki Barnes type, that type of time, around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been it. Miss Janice could have been her life. But that's the vibe she give me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? For Miss Gloria, I see working class. Even for Kanye's man, Miss Donda, educator.
Yeah.
When I looked at her, I saw that's an educator.
Her whole disposition was educator.
Educator. Up, straight up and down.
Well, you know, the those that had those situations with their parents, like they was put out on the block early.
Yeah.
You know, the daddy passed away in the streets. Oh, it's your turn, son.
Yeah.
You take over the empire.
Yeah.
16 or not, you gonna get out there and make it.
Yeah.
That's not boundaries though.
It's not. It's,
you know what I'm saying? Like
it's putting your son in a position to take on a role that he should not have to. But still, even in that role, like I said, with that power dynamic, when you reach that level of success, you have to not lose your humanity and don't let your ego consume you. Because all these cases that we're talking about, celebrity men, there are corporate men, firefighters, police officers, politicians. They all suffer from the same exact thing.
We're just using them as examples because they're very well-known people.
Yeah.
But like T just said, this is in every single industry, every single family, every single community. These dynamics of men who have power abuse the power, as opposed to refueling the community with the resources that they've accumulated.
Right.
They're using it for abuse.
Yep. Or to advance themselves. Yeah. All it is
to
me. It's self. Whoever I step on in the process, oh well. And I just want us to get away from that. Like, can we just not use each other as like shark bait?
I will say, I can appreciate the other side of the conversation on social media. I've seen a lot of men whose eyes have been opened. Yeah. Who are starting to realize, like, you know what, guys? We do need to shape up.
Ooh, we got to tighten up.
I've been seeing a lot more men calling out other men and saying, you know what? Something wrong with your brains.
Yep.
We got to fix this.
Because this ain't normal. A lot of this is not normal.
And this is something that I've been seeing within, I would say, since maybe like the holiday season. Like, more men are starting to come out of that groupthink.
Yes.
Just like trending on social media. Mm-hmm. In my personal life, I haven't experienced it because I curate my spaces with certain people who just don't think like that.
Right. Me too. Because I have a homeboy. He be like, T, this is some stupid earth.
Listen, I know how to pick and choose my tribe.
Right.
And I curate my space to perfection.
Me too. I
don't got no problems. Mm-mm. But I am not going to say just because I'm not personally being affected by it, I'm not personally experiencing that, I don't see it happening for others.
We see it.
And I just wish that men, we want you to be leaders. We see you as leaders.
Absolutely.
We know you have the potential to be leaders, but there's no way that you're going to be an effective leader, a respected leader, and a leader that's actually going to push us to progress and progression without being able to hold your fellow brother accountable.
Yeah.
What's happening behind closed doors is happening in the forefront. There is no such thing as a closed door at this point.
No.
It
ain't no door.
It's no door.
It's no door.
It's just a big old open floor plan.
Yes.
Don't y'all love open floor plans?
Yes.
That's what it is at this point.
Yes, because after all this that we've witnessed in the last just 6 or 7 months, it's just like, yeah, we kind of got to come on in the room and be accountable and know that this cannot continue on the course that it is currently on.
I want us to figure out a way to change the conversation and make it about the behaviors and not the people.
Right.
Because we get so fixated on the celebrity. A lot of men will respond like, oh, she just wanted the money or she just wanted the celebrity. Let's not talk about the money. Let's not talk about the celebrity. Let's not talk about the music or the movies or all the things that don't matter. Let's discuss the behaviors. If I remove Sean Diddy Combs and put the janitor at Walmart
that's doing the same
thing,
and he getting the baby oil off the truck before it get to the aisle
with his employee discount,
right?
The behavior is still deplorable.
It is.
And so we need to change it to where the conversation is about the behavior and not the people.
Right.
I can't wait till we are able to have this conversation with some guys that can give us, insight on just how the male brain processes these type of situations.
And what their thoughts are based off what they've learned recently about what's been going on. Like, how are y'all internalizing this? Because this is a lot. Like, a lot of this is a lot to take in, because
over the years when we've told them, like, y'all got to shape up, y'all doing bad. I don't think they took us serious and believed us. They just took it as women just nagging.
Yep. Y'all always got something to say.
Y'all hate black men. But now the video proof, the pictures, the seeing it in real time, I think a lot of men are starting to turn the tide. So I'm happy for progress.
Yes.
I keep saying progress and progression and moving forward.
Yeah, because I really want us as a community, I want us to work together, black women and black men. We not are each other's enemies. We just not. We need each other, and we need to work towards making the culture safe again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my biggest goal. I want us to work together on a project to make the community safe again. Like, let's get all the deviants and all the crazy behavior out of here, and let's protect each other, move forward, and move as a union and be a force, because we've seen it in the past. Once we stick together, can't nobody stop us.
We can be stopped, and we are not delusional to think that we can eliminate it and totally bring the numbers of these situations to a complete zero. But what we do need is for us to turn the tides to intolerance. We want to be intolerant,
correct,
to these kind of behaviors, and let it be known that if you behave this way, you're going to have to see about it. It's like, it's not to be tolerated
at all.
And we need guys to get on that bandwagon and to be a part of the project, like T said.
Yeah.
So again, I can't wait till we have some guys that can chat it up with us.
Yes.
And push the conversation forward. But for now, just ponder and think about it.
What can we do?
What's the next step, guys?
We thank you, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to our channel.
Bye.
Bye-bye.